Most of us are still building measures in Power BI the slow way, typing DAX from scratch, guessing at syntax, and hoping it works. But ChatGPT can help you get it right faster. Let me walk you through the 5 ways I use ChatGPT every day to save time and get more done in Power BI. I'm Avi Singh, a Power BI Microsoft MVP, and through my online program on learnpowerbi.com, I've helped thousands of business users master Power BI and build beautiful reports. Now, before we dive into using ChatGPT, you must be thinking, what about Copilot within Power BI? It is an exciting option. We have covered it in other videos, but it requires premium capacity, and that's expensive. Most of my consulting clients don't have it, and neither do most of my students. That's why I use ChatGPT, because it's available to everyone right now. So let's look at the 5 ways to use ChatGPT with Power BI. We'll start simple, then move to more advanced tips that make ChatGPT's answers way more accurate for your specific model. So make sure to watch till the end. So number 5, ChatGPT can be like a DAX reference manual, but one you can actually talk to. I find myself using quick help in 2 ways. Number 1, hey, how do I use this function? How do I use keep filters or remove filters? Just as a quick refresher on how to use a function. Or number 2, when I know what I need to do, but can't remember the right function. So I might ask, which function lets me pull a value from another table? Or what function helps me do running totals? And ChatGPT is there to help. Number 4 is a little more ambitious. Here you explain what you need and ask ChatGPT to write the full DAX measure. So you could say, create a measure for average sales per customer, or create a measure to calculate the sales from my top 10 customers. Now the number 2 and number 1 tip I'm about to share will make this work a whole lot better. So watch till the end. Now number 3, you can use ChatGPT to quickly generate variations of a single measure. Example, you could say, hey, I have this sales measure. Can you write DAX for sales prior year, year over year change, percentage change, maybe month to date, year to date, and so on. And ChatGPT would create these in a snap. Now you could do this for a single measure, or you could give ChatGPT a list of measures and ask it to generate variations for each of them. I'm also going to show you a trick to take this output to Power BI and just copy paste to create all the measures at once, not one by one. Now, before we get into number 2 and number 1, I want you to understand why they are such a big deal. These 2 tips can make all the difference in how fast ChatGPT helps you, and even more important, how accurate it is. Without them, writing measures or creating variations can turn into wasted time or wrong answers. With them, ChatGPT actually knows your model, and that changes everything. So let's start with number 2, using the DAX query view. Here's what you do. Go to the DAX query view, hover over any measure in the table list on the right, click on the 3 dots next to it, and go to Quick Queries. Then click the option that says Define all measures in this model. This dumps out the definition of all your existing measures. You can take that, save it as a text file, and upload it to ChatGPT. The first time you do it, just tell ChatGPT, hey, here's a definition of all my DAX measures, just acknowledge it, and I'll ask you for more help. Now, ChatGPT knows all your measures. Think about how powerful this becomes. If a measure isn't working, you can ask for help, and ChatGPT can see, oh, this measure uses that one, which depends on this other one. Here's what's broken. The more it knows, the more it can help. And when you ask it to create new measures, it already has the context. It even sees your measure naming style and your DAX programming style and can mimic that. Now, of course, you should always check the output. But this gives ChatGPT a huge head start. And here's the best part. You can use the DAX query view not just to read the definition of your measures. You can also use it to write or create new measures with just one click. Ask ChatGPT to define a set of measures for you and tell it to use the DAX query syntax. Then just copy and paste that back into DAX query view, click Update Model with Changes, and boom, your measures are created instantly. This is especially useful for measure variations. Instead of creating 5, 10, or 20 new measures one by one, you can bulk generate them in ChatGPT, paste them in, and update your model with a single click. But there's still a big problem. Measures are only one part of your model. What about your tables, your columns, your relationships? If the rule is the more ChatGPT knows, the more it can help, then wouldn't it make sense to tell ChatGPT about your whole model? That brings us to number 1. But we also have an important bonus tip after that, so keep watching. The number 1 is the ultimate goal, to have ChatGPT know everything about your model. But for that, you can't just upload your PBIX file, as there are 3 problems with that. First, ChatGPT doesn't actually understand PBIX files at this point. You can try uploading one, but it won't be able to read it properly. Second, the PBIX includes all your data, and that can make the file really big. Even if you manage to upload it, ChatGPT often struggles with large files. It might not process everything correctly, and the answers just won't be reliable. And the third, your PBIX has all your data. So you may not be comfortable uploading your company or client data to ChatGPT. So what's the solution? The Power BI template file, or PBIT. The Power BI template file is designed to separate the data from the model definition. When you save as a PBIX, it includes both. But when you save as a PBIT, the data is stripped out and it just stores the model definition, your tables, your relationships, your measures, even the Power Query code. You just go to File, Save As, and in the file type, choose Power BI template file. Once you have that, you can upload the PBIT to ChatGPT. And you can even check by asking ChatGPT, hey, list out all the tables, or relationships, or measures. It's going to know everything. So if you ask it to debug a measure or write a new one, it's working with the complete context of your model. So all of your answers are going to be better. So what's my final bonus tip? ChatGPT can give you quick answers, but quick doesn't matter if they're the wrong answers. And there are 2 kinds of wrong. The less harmful is when the formula ChatGPT gives you just does not work, or stops working after a change. Now that can be really frustrating, but what's worse is when the DAX formula works, but is not the right thing to do. Maybe there is a simpler, more elegant DAX approach. Or maybe the problem is not DAX, but the model or relationships. That's why my bonus tip is to have a human safety net. Find the person who can help. And if you're part of our Power BI group training or private coaching program, then you're going to have me, a Power BI Microsoft MVP, in your corner ready to help. We'll get your formulas working and make sure your DAX, Power Query, modeling, and relationships all follow best practices. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and power on.